979 GRD Rocks. Johnny Walker with you for this afternoon, and we got some special guests in studio. I've been telling you they've been coming in. Very excited to have the guys from Trapt here. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. We're so happy to be in Grand Rapids. It's a great day. It's beautiful weather, so, you know.
Got Johnny Walker in the studio.
Of course.
You guys have a big show tonight at the Stache. Sons of Texas were here earlier. Great guys, great song. What's it like touring with all these bands that you got going on right now?
When I first heard those guys, you know, they're the same like agency, and so my agent introduced me to them, and I was like, they're, you know, so I was like, oh, this is good, you know, Southern hard rock, and you know, so I digged it, you know, and I'm like, yeah, let's have them come out, you know, so we put this tour together, you know, probably 5 weeks ago, because I was like, okay, we're gonna finish the record probably in the middle of July, right? So, or maybe the first week in July, right? And then we'll have a week, and then we'll go on tour. But like I was saying to you before, we just finished this album DNA, and we right up to the edge on last Tuesday, and then jumped on tour on the next day, Wednesday, you know. So we've just been crazy, and it's just awesome that we pulled this tour together as fast as we did, and be able to get out there and play new songs. And so we're excited because it's been 2 years since we've come out with new material. So we're happy to be able to do that and have good bands tour with us. You know?
It's good to tour with these good bands too.
Yeah,
as we get to catch them.
We like good bands.
We like good bands.
and
I like
Taiwan
music.
let you all know
bands.
that. I like bands.
We all like bands.
They're good bands. They're good bands.
I like bands.
Good to be
I like
inspired
bands.
by other good bands and guitar players
Bands.
and stuff. Got
Yeah.
some flying fingers
I
in
like
those
lamp,
guys
and I
there.
like band.
I like good bands. I like good bands.
Good band.
I think you should have just said I like band.
I like band.
Should have
I like
just
bands.
said sandwich or whatever.
Sandwich. I love lamb.
I like sandwich.
So you guys have been working on this album for a while. You guys took a break, did a little touring and stuff. Now you're kind of doing more touring at the end of it.
Yeah.
So you did some in studio, and you've done sort of other bits
Yeah.
in hotel
room
rooms.
last night.
Yesterday.
Just
a couple overdubs.
Yeah.
Just, you know, instead like we say, you know,
We
instead
did
of
this part.
partying our days off,
We did that part.
Did that part?
Yep.
instead of partying our
Yeah,
days off,
right.
you know, we're hungover on our days off and working. You know, that's what we do. So party at night after the show. The next day, you got to keep working. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But the bulk of the album was done in regular studios, and then you
All
just
the
kind of doing
vocals.
little bits.
Yeah. I'd say like 3% was left to do that we finished yesterday.
He thinks that, but it's actually like 10. 11.
There's
It's
some
so much
synth
easier.
parts and the piano parts and
Yeah.
things that, you know,
I still
just
have
the
stuff I have to do,
icing
actually.
on top of the
Yeah.
icing, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sprinkles.
All the little bits and bobs. It's so much easier to do stuff at home, though, and you can get really good quality results. So many bands are doing it
I mean,
now.
that's what, you know, so basically, you know, we'll set up at my house or Pete's house, and then we'll write music and get, you know, ideas on Pro Tools and all that stuff, you know, and you do effects and all that kind of stuff, and then we'll send that over to the real studio that we have, that we've put together over the last year, and then that's when we get the real takes, you know, the real drums and all that stuff. We have a good studio that's been built, you know, over the last few years, and so it's all coming together, and we're gonna be able to really put out quality records every time, and do it on our own terms, and you know, whenever we want to. So
Yeah, so you have your own space. That's really
got it.
nice.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay a lot of money to go to somebody else's studio.
or worry about if someone else booked it.
Yeah. You just leave your stuff there all the time and
Yeah,
make
that's what
noise.
we did the last month and a half. We just had the drum set up, bass set up, everything set up. So if you wanted to go in there and tweak something, you didn't have to reset everything up and remic everything. It was all just ready to go. So I've always wanted to make records that way, you know, so you don't have to screw with anything else other than whatever you need to do at that time, you do it. You know? So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
You guys seem to have done a lot of stuff independently of record labels and things like that. What's the big difference that you've seen doing stuff on your own, control-wise, music-wise, creation-wise, doing it independently as opposed to doing it with a major label?
Oh man, it's it's crazy because we did 4 albums on big labels, you know, so 2 albums with Warner Bros, 2 albums with 11-7, and then the 5th album, you know, we it was kind of a hybrid, you know. We had a label going through Caroline, you know, is a you know, affiliated with Universal now, and all that good stuff, and we did that, and it was still not quite as independent as I would have wanted it. So this album is just completely independent. Like it's our own label, our own distribution, all that stuff with ADA, and so it's really I think that creatively we were able to really expand and do things that we never thought we could before, or I think more importantly, we didn't have anyone in our ears saying, well, this is probably the best direction in, you know, these days and all this stuff, and it wasn't, there was no rules. So that was like our first album. There was no rules because we didn't know, you know, we just made music at that point. There was no trying to fit anything or whatever. It was just make music that's original. I mean, that's kind of what we've always wanted to do. And so I think with Trapt's sound, you know, we don't really have like oh, that sounds like this band or that sounds like that band or a combination of 3 bands or whatever. So people need to listen to it a few times to get it, but then once they get it, they're into it, you know, because and that's what we'd rather have, a song that will grow on you but will stay with you, you know. And so that's an album that I think we made, and I think Reborn was a good transition album, and I think this DNA, this new album, is going to be a defining record for us, you know.
The new album DNA comes out October.
Yeah, DNA October 27th. Yeah.
What did you guys do differently, maybe songwriting wise? You know, thematically, is like, okay, this is what we want our next album to be.
Yeah, it really, it's, you know, we went through, you know, our fair share of craziness over the last year and a half. When you become independent, there's loose ends you got to tie up and things like that, and we did that successfully and went through a lot of, you know, growing pains with that. And I think a lot of that is gonna be in the album. You know, I think that in the end, if you know, we've always been a fighting band. We fight for what we get, right? And I think that, you know, if you don't fight, there's no opportunity to get lucky, you know. So I think that's kind of what we do, and I think at this point, every time you have a hit song, it's like there's a little bit of luck in there or something, you know. Even a hit album or whatever, you know, just something that really connects with people. And so I think everything we've done up to this point has really got us ready for this album and this release in particular, and the 2 songs we came up with Passenger. We just put a little teaser out for a song called Human, like the rest of us, and this album is really kind of socially conscious to me. Okay, I think I got that right. Conscious. Yeah, and you know, like Passenger, just, you know, put your life in your own hands. You know, it's like take the wheel, even when you're most scared to do it, because that's when you find out who you are. You know, when you doubt yourself and you're afraid and you look to someone else to, like, I think someone else can help me here. That's the time when you really do have to do it yourself. You know, because like after you get through it, whether you succeed or fail, you found who you are. You know, and I think that's the most important thing that we all need to do, is take that risk and find out who we are, you know, and not hold back, you know. And then so another song called Human that, like I said, the trailer came out, and it's just about that, you know, we're human above all and first and foremost, you know, with all the crazy stuff that's going on and people putting themselves into little groups and categories and all that. I think at the end of the day, we have to say, hey, we're just human beings, and we should help each other and all be successful and all have fun together, you know. So I think DNA was a really suiting title, and we named it before the songs were written. So
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it is kind of a concept record, you know.
Speaking of finding out who you are and success and huge songs, you guys had a lot of early success with songs like Headstrong and then Still Frame and Echo. Really big, really quick, right out of the gate. And Warner.
Drink.
Yeah.
We barely were illegal to drink, you know. And we had this crazy song going, and it warps you, you know. If you're a 21, 22-year-old and you have this massive song, you know, you just think life's easy. You really do. You think like, oh, well, you know, this is how life is. Yeah. And it's not at all like that. And so I think our second record, third record, fourth record, fifth record, you know, it all really, I think, has prepared us for this moment, you know. And I think that would have been great to have Headstrong blow up when we were 28, right, or 26 and 27 after we toured a couple albums, right. But you take it when you can get it, right. You know, you can't hate on a hit song or something, right? It's still going strong today. So, but at the end of the day, everything we've gone through, I think, is lyrically and musically is led up to this album DNA. You know. Yeah,
there's been a lot of changeover in personnel as well. I mean, you guys got together when you were in high school and got started very, very early.
We went through some divorces, yes.
Now, when you're looking for new people to bring into the band, how does that change what you look for in someone you want to share a band with and like spend all your days on? Well, I mean, you know, early on, you're just like partying with your friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had a guitar player we worked with for many years. And then you know, it just wasn't the right fit, and we were able to, you know, play with Travis from Atreyu for a bit. He filled in for us while we really vetted as many. I mean, this time we were like, this is it. We're staying with this lineup. You know, Dylan's been in the band for 4 years. He's amazing, and we just wanted to make it like, this is not changing after this. Done after this, right? And we started playing with Ty, and it just immediately the chemistry between he and I and he and Pete and the whole band and Dylan, it just connected in a way that felt like felt right, felt like how it wasn't during the first album when it was just us writing music and just to impress ourselves, with every new song. And the last 3 months for us felt like, the last 3 months going into that first album, after we get signed and all that stuff and the excitement in that. And we feel just as excited as we felt then, 12 years ago. So, but just more mature and more experienced at this point, I mean, how much can you really know if you're 22 years old, right? I didn't know anything. I just knew I would get angry over things and be passionate about things, right? And so, that's all I knew that I did. And at this point, I think, I'm just a little more mature and able to comment on things in a melodically cool way. And that's, on stage when we're doing that bridge of Passenger, and it's just like, it's always someone else that's going to get you there. And, looking in the eyes of everyone, they get it. They're like, okay, yeah, maybe I should do it myself. Whatever they're going through, because that's where you're going to get yourself to where you want to be, because you're going to find who you are. So, yeah, I think when we really started working with Ty over a year ago, it was just the way he writes music is exactly the way we write music, and it's Trapt. I mean, it's like I was like, whoa, you write like that? I would have written that.
It's like every time I picked up a guitar, he was like, "That's cool."
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that's
every
cool.
time,
and you'd just be fidgeting around. Do that again. You know?
And it was like I wish I would have wrote
place.
that. Like I could have sworn I would have written that next week if you didn't write that. So it's amazing that I feel like I finally have that songwriting partner that that we wanted to keep after the first album, but just didn't, someone didn't bring it to the table, and now we've got a whole band of people that I'm just fans of, and I think that's really what you got to do. You're blown away by everyone's performances and the parts that they want to come up with to songs, and that's all you can hope for is be fans of your own band,
Yeah. Speaking of being the new guy, Ty, what kind of hazing did you get when you got in the band? They'd torture you, or
black eyes, broken limbs, things like that. They sold all my gear. So
we tarred and feathered him a few times. Yeah.
No, it was
got to
really
sleep in the
chill.
drafty bunk.
It wasn't like a Jason Newsted thing where they charged all the tabs to my room. And very
Well,
welcoming.
thanks for giving us that idea. I think we'll have to do that.
It's never too late. Right?
Now it's
First 3
coming.
Years.
You're paying for the Uber.
No, it was really no hazing at all. It was like get to work, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
kind of was.
kinda
Yeah,
like,
it
you
was
know,
like that.
It was like Atreyu got back together, so we needed a new guitar player. We knew Ty already and had been jamming with him and stuff, and then it was like we got these couple weeks coming
Yeah,
up.
but we knew
so we're
we
gonna
knew
do that.
Travis was never going to be
And
a
then-
permanent member
yeah.
of Trapt.
Yeah.
That was just not going to happen.
And then so we did those 2 weeks, and it was like that was great. You're in, basically. It wasn't like we had a audition phase.
No, we don't do auditions. It's anyone who's ever played with us has been someone who's been close to the band in some way, and that we knew, that someone knew through a friend or whatever. So we've always kept it somewhat close, because we'd never would line up a bunch of dudes and go through like trying to find that lead guitar player, and have them come in with a B-neck.
Yeah. And at the point of my first show or tour, like I already knew the guys because I was a tech for the band for a couple months. So I was already comfortable to be around everybody, and we already knew, what my musical direction was.
He
And
already knew most of the songs.
I already knew most of the
Yeah, well,
songs.
I mean that's why he was a
great.
tech, because we knew that we could jam that during that time, and he could come right in perfectly. So
Seems like that's happening a lot. So is that like the new path to getting to a band is become a tech for a band?
It's a great job. I love doing it. I
Well, we
never
knew he
thought
could
I'd
play
actually be it.
before he was a tech. So
Yeah.
we knew that he
Yeah, I
we
was
knew that he
always
was a
a
great player.
Yeah.
And it was just like he's already with us doing stuff, so we can definitely work on things as we go. So it was
There's been a lot of techs. I mean, Metallica's used their guitar tech on stage, and I mean, countless bands. I never wanted to be a guitar tech until I took an opportunity and found out it was something I really enjoyed doing. And it's something that, as bands come and go, techs usually do have longer careers where they can jump through band to band. So, I was looking at it from different aspects, but always knew I belonged on stage, wanted to be a performer and a player and a writer. And as fun as Techie is, I'll always do it and be a part of that, but it definitely does get you to be a shoe-in position for
We
a
were
band.
definitely bummed to see Ty go as a tech. He was a very good tech.
Oh, I was going to say, that's not your hazing. You still have to tag for everybody.
Well, I can't let it go,
he still does
actually.
everything.
Yeah,
It's like there's no way we would have finished this album or done any of this stuff in time without just all four guys in this band doing
something.
like doing a job.
It's
like,
pretty crazy how we have things working out. Like we have
And Pete's the
like
engineer.
So self-sufficient.
Pete
like,
engineers
everyone
everything.
Handling certain things, and like we don't need very much outside help.
Yeah.
Except for Chris Lord Alge, he's a great
Well, yeah.
mixer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like certain things, but it's like in the studio, it's like, you know, me and Chris both know Pro Tools pretty good. Like I'm teaching Ty, so it's like we're able to engineer it all ourselves.
He would be mixing stuff while I'm upstairs restringing the basses and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
and just
amazing.
setting up the guitars or whatever, and he'd be getting the bass set up.
Yeah.
The new
And I'm sitting
tuning or
writing
whatever.
lyrics, you know, at my place, you know, trying to figure that out while
editing
they're
the vocals
yeah.
or whatever. So it's like there's always something happening. And
Yeah,
we're usually hiring
Paying some guy to be
there.
there sitting around, and then you need him for 20 minutes to hire or to
Yeah, it's
string
crazy.
something.
It's
or
impressive
it.
though, because it's like everyone has like their little department, you know. So it's like, you know, I do lyrics and do music and do you know, programming stuff, and Pete makes sure everything's, you know, sounds perfect, and Ty's like, you know, the David Gilmour guy who's just coming in there and making the textures and everything. Like if you just had Roger Waters make the song by himself and he just shows the demo,
Yeah.
it would never have happened. But and then you get David Gilmour to come in there and lay his colors on top, and then it becomes Pink Floyd, you know. And then every song Dylan just, you know, takes to that next level with his drumming skills. So it's just it's awesome, you know. It's just the pieces all fell in together the last few months, and we're excited.
Well, let's hear some of those pieces. You want to play some acoustic stuff for us? I'm excited. What are you going to play first?
Let's do Passenger. Passenger, passenger, did I steer you wrong? Were you hoping that I'd get you somewhere? If this road is too long, tell me now, tell me now. I never took my foot off of the pedal. I never took my eyes off of the road. I ran straight through every red light to get you where you wanna go. Passenger, passenger, why don't you take the wheel? Why don't you put your life into your own hands? If you reach your destination, will you know it when you finally arrive? If it's just for the ride, tell me now, tell me now. I never took my foot off of the pedal. I never took my eyes off of the road. I ran straight through every red light to get you where you wanna go. Passenger, passenger, why don't you take the wheel? Why don't you put your life into your own hands? Passenger, passenger, come on and take the keys. It's time that you learn to drive. The joyride is over. It's always someone else. It's always someone else. It's always someone else. And you ask me, are we there yet? And you ask me, are we there yet? There yet? You have no faith in yourself. Your hope
979 GRD. That's Trapt, and they're new in Passenger Acoustic. You guys have a big show tonight at the Stache. It's been a while since you guys have been here. You remember the last time you guys were here?
I think it was 2 years.
2 years, and it was snowing and
It was very snowy.
miserable.
It was crazy. Always a good time. So that's why today is perfect. Look at everything's just falling into place.
You got a beautiful day outside. Lots of people come to your show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sons of Texas, Guns Out at Sundown. Point? Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Point?
Point.
And a local band called Coldville opening the show.
Yeah, we heard them. This sounds great.
Everything's starting about 6:30, or doors open at 6:30. Which one?
doors about 6:30.
Doors about 6:30. Come on by. Make sure you come have some fun with Trapt and all the bands tonight at the Stache, and get all the details at WGRD.com. It's $15 today, so it's a Lodo show. Come on out and have some fun with us.
That's what we're trying to do. Just have a great show and play some new songs, and obviously play songs everybody wants to hear too. You know.
Yeah. You guys want to play another song acoustic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
We do the
one.
We just did the latest song. We can do the first song.
earliest song.
Let's do the earliest song.
Yes.
Everybody knows this one.
Yeah. Sing along.
Sing along. 3, 4.
Decisions to hide. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you Impressions get to be your very best. I see you're full of, and that's alright. I see you playing it so good through every night. Well, now that's over. I see your fantasy. You wanna make it a reality, baby. Go and see inside of our heads, yeah. Well, now that's over. I see your motives inside. Decisions too high. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is not where you belong. I can't give everything away. I won't give everything away. I know all about, I know all about, I know all about your motives inside and your decisions to hide. Back up, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong. Headstrong, headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are wrong, and this is
right.
Thank you.
Nice. That's Trapt, Headstrong, of course, with Sons of Texas, Guns Out at Sundown, Point, Coldville tonight at the Stache. Get all those details right now at WGRD.com and get out to the show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we look forward to seeing the show tonight and can't wait for you guys to come back again. And we can't wait for the new album, man.
Always.
Super excited about the new album, DNA, out in stores in October. It's now almost officially done.
Almost.
Just about. So.
Few more things, and then it's out. Get all the details. Check out this interview. We'll have some extra secret stuff as
Johnny
well
Walker.
over at WGRD.com.